Comey, 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 Comey. A name that we're tired of hearing about to the point that I'm mistakenly telling my friends, instead of the usual, you're my homie, I'm actually telling them, you're my Comey. And when you do that, that's when you know you cover or watch way too much damn American political centrist news. James Comey could probably have his own network now, with how he's been so much in the news the last 12 months. And in fact, he literally does have his own network, because with him set to testify against President Trump before this lovely video you're watching right now, CNN could easily stand for the Comey News Network, since they have brought back that countdown clock for these big massive events. And since this is another Comey hearing that they are endlessly, breathlessly, annoyingly hyping, gives me reason to name the clock the Comey Clock. Sir Comey is the latest obsession for our centrist media colleagues, since all of them are covering this hearing tomorrow. CBS, ABC, NBC, live, breathless coverage of the Comey hearing. Heck, you may even have ESPN drop in and give live play-by-play action of the Comey hearing, since it may be more action that you'll get that's compelling than what has been the NBA Finals thus far. Second sidebar, Pittsburgh, please smash Smashville, because Nashville is getting even more annoying than the high level of annoying that Nashville is already. Though shout out to PK Subban, and not just for that reason. You know what that reason is. So this could be another excruciating Comey news cycle for all of us to endure. Now, outside of him 10 years ago trying to stop the corrupt Cheney administration, remember them, and Cheney administration horrible people Alberto Gonzales and Andrew Card, who were trying to force a disabled John Ashcroft to sign off on continuing their creepy warrantless spying program, we are mostly tired of James Comey. And we would be even more tired of James Comey if he doesn't describe anything new. And it will be another news cycle that will waste all of our damn times instead of focusing on the issues that matter to so many Americans in need at the moment. But there is one good Comey story that we can all enjoy, laugh at, and be one of those things when you have a really bad day and need a good laugh could be the thing that you could turn and look upon. And that is the time James Comey openly wanted to avoid Donald Trump from seeing him in the same room. Now, some of you may know this, since you are a very smart audience. James Comey isn't a short person. Quite the contrary. He's almost as tall as LeBron James. He's 6'8". Hard for a 6'8" FBI director to be invisible. Hard for any 6'8" person to not be seen in any room, especially one in the White House with the celebrity of President Clown in it. Just look at what Comey's friend, Lawfare's Ben Whittles, described what Comey told him a few weeks back to PBS, and how Comey acted like we all do when we want to avoid someone we don't want to see in the same place, only for them to see you. Just watch this.
There were a lot of Democrats who kind of blame him for Trump. So he was particularly sensitive to the idea of a sort of show of intimacy or closeness with Trump. That said, he didn't feel that he could say no to an invitation from the president, particularly one that went generally to law enforcement senior officials. This was an event designed to thank law enforcement for their roles in the inauguration, and he thought it was not even more inappropriate to not go. So he went, and it's actually a funny story. He really wanted to kind of blend in and not be singled out, and he's 6'8", so it's when you're
kind of tough to do
when
that.
you're 6'8", it's really hard to blend in. He's wearing, if you watch the video of it, he's wearing a blue blazer, and he stands in the part of the room that is as far from Trump as it is physically possible to be, and also against blue drapes that are the same color as his.
He chose that spot?
He chose that spot because it was, like almost like a chameleon, camouflaged against the wall. So, he described, thinking he'd gotten away with it. And the meeting goes on. It went on a long time, and Trump had not singled him out. And then at the end, right at the end, Trump singles him out in a fashion that he regarded as sort of, calculated to maximally drive home this sensitivity among Democratic voters, which is to say, I forget the exact quote, hey, look, he's even more famous than I am. And at that
sort of throwing his arms open to him and welcoming him over.
Exactly. So he has to go over and shake his hand.
He's become more famous than me.
And it's a long walk across that room. And what he told me was that it was bad enough that he was there. It was bad enough that there was going to be a handshake, but there really wasn't going to be a hug. And so if you watch the video, he extends his hand, and Comey's arms are really long, and he extends his hand kind of preemptively. And Trump grabs the hand and kind of pulls him into a hug. But the hug is entirely one-sided. So one guy in the hug is shaking hands, and the other guy is hugging. And Comey was just completely disgusted by the episode.
And just when that was the only James Comey story that anyone would like, here's another James Comey story where he is just abhorred by the whole thought of Donald Trump. Just watch what Whittle said here.
And his account of the phone conversation, or at least this particular phone conversation, was peculiar. So he was about to get on a helicopter, and he gets a call from the White House that the president wants to speak to him. So he assumes there's an urgent matter of some kind. And he delays the helicopter flight and takes the call from the president. And to his surprise, there's no urgent matter at all. The president just wants to chit-chat. And he was bewildered by it. And again, thought it was quite inappropriate that, he doesn't think the president and the FBI director should be chit-chatting. He doesn't want that kind of a relationship with the president.
That was me laughing in the background, and you could tell that Ben Whittles wanted to laugh himself with how he was telling that incongruous, nutty story. And it also shows not only that Comey can't stand Trump, but how mortified he is of the man. Particularly now that it's been revealed that he told Jeff Sessions to not leave him alone with Trump. All I can say to close is that this would be the perfect guy to play James Comey, especially in the scenes where he doesn't want to even be around the Orange Man disaster. For TYT Politics, I'm Andrew Jones, and you viewers watching this, wherever you're watching, will always be my Comeys.